everyone. Thank you for tuning in to Midnight in Montana. I am your host, Jordan, and I thank you so much for joining me tonight because we are diving deep into the shadows, the unexplained, and the truly bizarre. Tonight, we're exploring two of the most endearing mysteries of our time, UFOs and Bigfoot. First up, let's cast our eyes to the skies and delve into some truly iconic UFO encounters. These aren't just blurry photos or fleeting glimpses. These are stories with multiple witnesses, investigations, and a lingering sense of what if. We start with one of the most famous and perhaps most controversial alien abduction cases in history, the Travis Walton incident. This story captivated the world and even inspired the movie Fire in the Sky. Though we'll discuss how accurate the film truly was, it all began on November 5th, 1975 in the Apache Sitgreaves National Forest near Snowflake, Arizona. Travis Walton was a 22-year-old logger, working with a crew of 6 other men. They were driving home after a long day when they reportedly saw a bright, glowing object hovering in the sky. According to the crew's initial statements, Travis, being the curious sort, decided to get out of the truck and approach the object. He was, by all accounts, drawn to it. What happened next is etched into the UFO lore. A beam of light reportedly shot down from the craft, enveloping Travis. The other crew members, terrified, say they fled in the truck. When they returned a short time later, Travis was gone. Now, imagine the panic. A man vanishes, and the only explanation the remaining crew can offer is aliens. Naturally, the local sheriff's office and the community were highly skeptical. The crew members, including Mike Rogers, the crew chief, were subjected to intense scrutiny, including polygraph tests. While some of the results were inconclusive, many of the men reportedly passed, indicating they believed they were telling the truth about what they saw. 5 days later, Travis Walton reappeared, disoriented and suffering from some form of trauma. He claimed to have been taken aboard the UFO, subjected to examinations by strange alien beings, and then released. His account, detailed in his book The Walton Experience, describes large-eyed, gray-skinned entities and a much more frightening experience than a typical friendly alien narrative. One of the core witnesses, Mike Rogers, the crew chief, recounted the initial sighting in an interview, describing the object as a large glowing metallic disc making no sound. He stated that Travis just walked right up to it, and then this blue-green light came down and hit him, and he was thrown back. The sheer terror in his voice during early interviews was palpable. The film Fire in the Sky took creative liberties, particularly with the scenes inside the alien craft, making them far more terrifying and grotesque than Walton's actual recollection. This was a Hollywood decision to heighten the drama, but it definitely left a lasting impression on audiences. The Travis Walton case remains a cornerstone of abduction phenomena. Skeptics argue it was a hoax, perhaps even a way for the crew to escape a logging contract penalty. However, the consistency of the crew's story under pressure, the polygraph results, and Travis's deeply unsettling personal account have kept this mystery alive for decades. It forces us to ask, what really happened in those Arizona woods in 1975? From the intimate horror of a personal abduction, we shift to a mass sighting, an event witnessed by thousands, including a state governor. I'm talking about the Phoenix Lights, which occurred on March 13th, 1997. This was not a fleeting glimpse. These lights were visible over a vast area of Arizona for several hours. Thousands of people from Phoenix to Tucson reported seeing a massive V-shaped formation of lights moving silently across the night sky. The sheer number of witnesses make this event incredibly compelling. One of the most prominent witnesses was Fife Symington III, who was the governor of Arizona at the time. Initially, he publicly ridiculed the idea of a UFO, even holding a press conference with an aide dressed in an alien costume. However, years later, Symington dramatically changed his tune, admitting himself that he had witnessed the V-shaped object that night. He stated, "I'm a pilot, and I know just about every machine that flies. It was enormous and silent. It was definitely not anything I've ever seen before. And it was definitely not flares." That's a powerful statement from a former governor and a pilot. The official explanation offered by the U.S. Air Force was that the lights were flares dropped during a training exercise by an A-10 Warthog craft. While some of the later stationary lights observed that night were indeed flares, the V-shaped formation that passed over the state earlier in the evening has never been adequately explained by conventional means. Witnesses described the object as being massive, blotting out stars as it passed overhead. It was silent, defying the characteristics of known aircraft. Many described the lights as being embedded within a solid, dark V-shaped craft, rather than individual lights flying in formation. For a deep dive into the Phoenix Lights, you can find numerous articles and documentaries online. I recommend looking up articles that feature eyewitness accounts and contrasting them with the official military explanations. If you ever have the time, search up Phoenix Light witness statements or Fife Symington Phoenix Light emission. The sheer volume of testimonials from credible sources, pilots, police officers, families is astounding. The Phoenix Lights remain one of the most widely reported and documented UFO sightings in history. It challenges our understanding of what's possible and what might be flying in our skies, unseen by the general public. The sky certainly holds its share of secrets, and there are countless other UFO stories that defy easy explanation. Let's touch on a couple more that have left a lasting impact. This is often called Britain's Roswell, the Rendlesham Forest Incident. Over several nights in December 1980, U.S. Air Force personnel stationed at RAF Bentwaters and RAF Woodbridge in Suffolk, England, reported strange lights and a craft landing in Rendlesham Forest. Witnesses, including Deputy Base Commander Lieutenant Colonel Charles Halt, described a metallic triangular object with pulsating lights. They even claimed to have seen strange symbols on its surface. Halt made an audio recording of his observations as the events unfolded, lending incredible weight to the testimony. In his official memo, Halt described seeing a pulsating red light in the forest and then later a triangular-shaped object that was metallic in appearance and approximately 9 feet long and 6 feet high. He also described 3 legs on the craft, lighted panels on the underside. This is a truly remarkable account from a high-ranking military official. The O'Hare International Airport sighting in 2006. Numerous United Airline employees, including pilots and mechanics, witnessed a metallic saucer-shaped object hovering silently over gate C-17. It was reportedly visible for several minutes before shooting upwards towards the clouds, leaving a perfectly circular hole. Air traffic control radar didn't pick it up, and the FAA initially dismissed it as a weather phenomenon, which, given the clear conditions and given multiple credible witnesses, stretches cruelty. It was a metallic disc, perfectly round, and it just hung there for a good 5 minutes. No noise, no exhaust, and then it just shot straight up. I've been working here for 20 years. I've seen everything, and that was unlike anything I've ever seen. These cases come from military personnel to airline employees, the consistent reports of anomalous and aerial phenomena. They challenge our conventional understanding of flight and raise profound questions about what else might be sharing our airspace. Alright, let's leave the skies for a moment and journey into the deep dark forest, because our next mystery is one that walks on 2 feet, leaves enormous tracks, and sends shivers down the spine. We're talking about Bigfoot, or Sasquatch, the cryptid of the wilderness. And while Bigfoot is reported all over North America, we're going to focus on some truly compelling stories from my home state, Montana. Montana, with its vast, rugged wilderness, the Rockies, dense forests, remote valleys, provide the perfect habitat for a creature as elusive as Bigfoot. The sheer amount of unexplored territory makes it a prime location for such a cryptid. One of the most intriguing aspects of Bigfoot sightings in Montana and elsewhere is the consistency of descriptions. Large, ape-like hominids, covered in dark fur, standing often over 7 feet tall with broad shoulders and a powerful build. They are often reported to be silent, but sometimes accompanied by strange vocalizations or wood knocks. A recent report from October 2024 on the Rocky Boy Indian Reservation in Hill County, Montana, describes a group of 4 people having a chilling encounter. They were at a picnic area and decided to try some wood knocks, inspired by finding Bigfoot. Within a minute, they saw 2 sets of bluish-white eye shine about 25 feet up a hillside. One of the witnesses, Michael, started filming. Another, Lacey, used a bright flashlight. They found nothing initially, but then heard footsteps and twig snaps further up the slope. The flashlight beam eventually found one of the Bigfoots, which both Michael and Lacey saw and reacted to. The ex-wife in the car also saw it lit up by the light. This is a very recent and intriguing report offering multiple witnesses in an attempt at documentation. Another fascinating account from Montana comes from the I-90 corridor near Missoula County, specifically around mile marker 145. For years, people have reported seeing a large, blurry, human-like figure on the side of the road. While some speculate it might be a prank, the frequency and consistency of the sightings have kept the mystery alive. Imagine driving down the highway and catching a glimpse of something undeniably out of place, something that shouldn't be there. I was driving on I-90 west of Missoula late at night, and I swear I saw something huge and hairy on the side of the road. It looked like a very tall, muscular person, but covered in dark fur. It moved into the trees before I could really get a good look, but it gave me the chills. What makes these Montana Bigfoot encounters so compelling is the setting itself. These aren't urban legends. They're stories born from the vast, untamed wilderness, whether it's the high mountains, dense forests, or the remote back roads. Montana offers ample opportunity for a large, reclusive creature to exist undetected. It's interesting, isn't it, how these two seemingly disparate phenomena, UFOs and Bigfoot, often intersect in the world of the unexplained. There are even theories that Bigfoot sightings sometimes occur in conjunction with UFO activity, or that the creatures themselves might be extraterrestrial in origin, or perhaps interdimensional. While we don't have time to dive deep into those theories tonight, it's a thought-provoking connection. Both UFOs and Bigfoot represent the edge of our understanding. They challenge our established scientific paradigms and force us to consider possibilities beyond our current knowledge. For UFOs, the sheer number of credible witnesses accounts the radar data and the growing openness from government bodies about unidentified aerial phenomena. Or UAP suggests that something truly unexplained is happening in our skies. It's no longer just a realm of fringe theorists. It's a topic behind discussed in the Pentagon and Congress. For Bigfoot, the physical evidence, the footprints, the hair samples, the recorded vocalizations continue to tantalize researchers, while definitive proof remains elusive, the consistent witness reports from diverse individuals in isolated wilderness areas suggest that something large, bipedal, and unknown is out there. These stories, whether it's Travis Walton's terrifying journey, the mass awe of the Phoenix Lights, or the chilling encounters in Montana's backwoods, tap into something fundamental within us. A primal curiosity about the unknown, a desire to understand our place in a universe that might be far stranger than we can imagine. Whether you're a staunch believer, a curious skeptic, or just someone who enjoys a good mystery, these stories remind us that there's still so much to discover about our planet and perhaps beyond it. The unexplained continues to be a frontier, and as long as there are people willing to look up at the night sky or venture deep into the wilderness, these mysteries will endure. And that brings us to the end of another fascinating episode of Midnight in Montana. I want to extend a massive thank you to all of you for tuning in tonight and joining me on this journey into the unexplained. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a review. It helps us reach out to more Bigfoot and UFO enthusiasts. Until then, keep looking up and keep your eyes on the tree line. Good night, everyone.